Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to tie two of the very best knots that you can use for any fishing application, whether you're tying line to a swivel or you're tying your leader to your hook. The first of these two that I use most often is called the UNI knot. Let me show you how it works. Alright, quite simply, take your main line or your leader, run it through the eye of the hook. Then you're going to run that back parallel to itself and make a loop. Just like that. Run that tag end through that loop between 4 and 8 times, depending on how thick your line or leader material is. Typically speaking, I think the thicker the material, the fewer wraps you should try. If you've got something like 30-pound braid and you're tying to a swivel, you can go with 8. If you've got something like 300-pound braid like I'm using now, and you're tying to a hook, maybe you're going for catfish or something like that, where you've got 80-pound mono going down to a hook, I would go with 4 to 5 wraps at most. So we've got our wraps. Now I'm going to take my thumb and forefinger and pinch the tag end, thumb and forefinger, and I'm going to pinch the end of the knot. And I'm going to kind of run my thumb and forefinger back over the knot, kind of stroking it as I pull it tight. And what that'll do is, as that knot tightens, that'll prevent it from getting bunched up and coiling over itself in an uneven fashion. And that's a recipe for a bad knot. So doing that little trick with your thumb and your forefinger can prevent that. So once it's getting a little bit tight, what I'll do is I'll take the tag end and the main line, and I'll kind of wrap them around my fingers, and I'll pull them tight together like this. Now I've got a bit of a loop here, but what's going to happen, make sure your line is wet when you do this. I'm going to hold the hook in one hand, the main line in the other, and I'm going to let that tag end sit free. We're going to cinch it up, and it'll slide down. You can see that tag end kind of circle around itself there at the end. That was the knot cinching up properly. That is a solid knot. Alright guys, one more. This is probably my favorite knot for connecting leader material to a hook. I've shown this one before, but I'm going to show it again because it is such a good knot. Basically, you're going to take your leader material, you're going to run it through your hook, and for this particular knot, I prefer to run it through the hook from front to back, and I'll explain why in a second. You're going to run the line parallel to the hook shank, loop it back, and pinch it down. This is a snell knot. Now there's more than one way to tie this knot. A lot of the times what you'll see is you'll see someone take the tag end here, loop it around the shank through that loop and pull it tight. And that's kind of a quick way to tie the snell knot, but it is not the best way to tie the snell knot. For maximum efficiency, what you want to do, take your 2 fingers and kind of open up that line so that it makes a bit of a triangle. And what you're going to do is you're going to loop that triangle around the hook bend so that this end, the far end of the loop, wraps around the shank and this other side of the line. So watch. There's one loop, twist. Second loop, twist. You kind of see what's happening down there? See how the line is wrapping around the other side of the line and the hook shank? Another wrap, twist. Another wrap, twist. Let's do one more. And twist. There. Now you see I've got the wraps going around the line and the hook shank together. So an important detail when you're doing this, make sure the hand you're using to secure the eye of the hook pinches that initial loop very tightly, and you never lose that. You can see it between my right thumb and forefinger. It's staying there tight. If I lose that, the whole knot comes undone. So what we're going to do here, once I'm satisfied with my number of wraps, I'm going to kind of use my pinky, and I'm going to kind of pull the line down tight away from itself. I'm going to secure that loop. Look at that loop between my right thumb and forefinger as I pull the line tight. Boom. So now, I'm going to take my other hand, pinch the knot, and we're going to take our free hand and pull the main line tight. Watch, that loop is going to move through the knot. And that knot is going to slide up to the eye of the hook. And we have a good snell knot. Nice and strong. Now, why do I like the main line to run through the front of the hook? Well, very simply, what it does for a circle hook, especially, it pulls down so that the point sets the way that it should. It makes it more likely that the point of the hook is going to be pulled in towards the fish's mouth. Whereas if you've got it running out the back, I feel that it ends up pulling away from the fish more often than not. All that's left is to get your scissors, trim your knot, and you're all set.